The year was 2004. Star Wars Battlefront launched to massive success. Developed by Pandemic Studios, the game gave players the chance to live out their wildest Star Wars fantasies. You could storm the beaches of Kashyyyk, hold the line on Hoth, and fight alongside or against legendary characters like Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi. It was a dream come true for Star Wars fans, and it sold millions of copies. Now, just 1 year later, Battlefront 2 dropped, and it raised the bar. Space battles, playable heroes, a full campaign centered around the 501st Clone Troopers. Now, this was Star Wars gaming at its peak, and fans assumed a third entry was just around the corner. But instead, absolutely nothing. No Battlefront 3, no announcement, and the years that followed, the silence became deafening. Fast forward to 2024, nearly 20 years after Battlefront 2, and we finally have confirmation that Battlefront 3 was indeed in the works. Not by another studio, but by Pandemic themselves. In a recent interview with Video Gamer, Dan Nani, one of the designers on Battlefront 2, confirmed what fans have speculated for years. Pandemic had started pre-production on Battlefront 3 shortly after the second game launched. But according to Nani, it never went far. In his words, we started working on it and then negotiations just didn't take off. The publisher wanted a quick turnaround, the same 1 year gap they had between the first two titles. But this time, that timeline was impossible. And you're probably thinking why, and that's because something was happening in the gaming world. The launch of new hardware. The famous Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 era. Now, transitioning to new consoles isn't like flipping a switch. It's like rebuilding the ship while you're trying to fly it. And Nani explained the problem clearly. When you're moving to a new console, it's not as easy as saying, let me just make a game for it like we did the old console. New consoles have new hardware, and new hardware comes with new limitations. And you don't know exactly what you're working with until you've got it. So in short, Pandemic needed time. Time to experiment, to optimize, to figure out what was even possible on next-gen hardware. But instead of giving the team more time, the higher-ups pushed for that 1 year development window, the same that they had worked during the PlayStation 2 and original Xbox era. But this wasn't that era anymore. And Nani went on to say negotiations stalled out because I think we wanted more time to work on it. And just like that, Battlefront 3, Pandemic's version, the original version, was quietly shelved. But that's not the end of the story. In the late 2000s, another studio picked up the torch, Free Radical Design. Now, Free Radical Design were the creators of Time Splitters, and they were determined to bring Battlefront 3 to life. Now, what they had planned was nothing short of revolutionary. Seamless transitions from space battles to planetary combat, massive, fully explorable maps. You'd start the fight in orbit, jump in a fighter, and then fly down to the planet's surface and keep fighting, all without loading screens. A few years ago, early gameplay from Free Radical's canceled Battlefront 3 did leak online, and while it was clearly unfinished, it gave fans a glimpse of what might have been. Now, Nani did confirm that Pandemic had envisioned something similar. He goes on to say the space-to-ground concept that Free Radical had, we had that too. If given the time, we'd have made something really special. But unfortunately, Free Radical's dream died too. The game was reportedly 99% finished when it was canceled. An absolute heartbreaking blow to fans and developers alike. Now, it would take nearly a decade before Battlefront returned. In 2015, EA and DICE released their own reboot of the series. Visually, it was stunning. The Frostbite engine made Andor, Hoth, and Tatooine look like scenes straight out of the movies. But fans quickly noticed what was missing. No campaign, no space battles, and no prequel-era content. It honestly felt bare bones. Then came Battlefront 2 in 2017, a more ambitious game with a single-player story, more heroes, in all eras of Star Wars content. But the launch was an absolute disaster. Infamous for its aggressive microtransactions and loot boxes, Battlefront 2 became the poster child for pay-to-win gaming. EA faced massive backlash from the community and also even from governments. But over time, the game redeemed itself. Updates added new content, new heroes, and fairer progression. And today, Battlefront 2 has a thriving player base even 8 years later. And one unexpected boost came from the world of Star Wars television. When Andor released on Disney+, something strange happened. Battlefront 2's player count started rising. A new generation of fans, inspired by the gritty, grounded storytelling of Andor, was rediscovering the game. Even the actors were getting involved. The actor who plays Brasso in Andor publicly called for a new Battlefront 3. He took to social media to add his voice to the growing movement. Fans are organizing online, on Reddit, Twitter, even in-game to show EA that the demand is still alive. They're launching petitions, replaying the old games, and flooding comment sections with one message: make Star Wars Battlefront 3. So to wrap this up, right now there is no official word from EA or DICE. The studio has been quiet. Rumors have swirled, leaks have come and gone, but unfortunately nothing concrete. Still, the signs are there. Interest is climbing. The market is hungry, and with games like Jedi Survivor proving that single-player Star Wars games can thrive, the time might be right for another multiplayer return. But if EA decides to revisit the Battlefront series, they'll have to learn from the past. No rush deadlines, no pay to win, and please give the devs the time and support to deliver the vision fans have waited decades for. So the ultimate question in this video is, would you like to see Star Wars Battlefront 3? Let me know in the comments down below. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button if you're new, as I will continue to bring gaming news videos just like this. Until next time.